So today, as in the journey of our Scala learning, we'll be discussing what are classes and object. So we'll see what are classes, and we'll create objects. So here in this example, I'll create a class, and that the name of the class will be same as the name of the object. So we'll see that how we create a companion class, and then finally we'll learn what is Scala application. So what are classes? Class is a blueprint for objects. Once you define a class, you can create class is a blueprint of for objects. Once you define a class, you can create objects from the class's blueprint with keyword new. So it is like you have defined a blueprint and now you want to implement that blueprint with so many implementations. Okay. So through the object, you can use all functionalities of the defined class. So let's move to the IntelliJ. Let's create a class. So we are using IntelliJ IDE for our Scala code development. So here we'll create a new package. Its name is as training, and in training we'll create a new Scala class. So we'll create a class named counter. So it is different. It is a counter which has a method called increment and decrement. It will. So let's implement it. Counter. So we'll just let's create a private variable var. So we'll see the significance of private as well. So what is the significance of private? How is it functioning with companion classes and all? So we'll see it. We'll just create a private variable sum, and then let's create a method with increment method. It just takes an integer value, and let's give a default value of 1. So what is default values? Default values are like whenever you are calling this increment method and you are not providing any parameters or arguments into it, so it will by default it will take 1. So in Scala we can define default parameters like this. So it is a method. We'll implement what this sum holds. It will hold the. So what is I have written like this in shorthand notation. What you must be worrying you must be confused what it is. So it was like this: sum equals to sum plus 1, sum plus by. So that is the short format. Okay. So similarly, we'll implement a decrement method as well. So we'll have so the scope of this variable val variable is inside the method itself. So here I want to notify like this by is of type what type? Can you guess it? Is it type of var or val? So you know, right? Var is mutable and val is immutable. So it is type of val. So we can that also we can check. So we'll check in our later course. So it is of type val. So by is of type val, not var. Suppose if you want to, this is the by, right? This is the by method. So you want to change the value of it. Cannot do so. Yes, so it will give an error. Cannot do it. Okay, now we'll decrement it by 1. Whatever will be the by value. If you want to decrement it by 1, then you will pass the by value as 1, otherwise whatever it will by default it will take 1. So this is our implementation. Okay, so here we have implemented this counter. What is counter class? So now we'll create an counter object. So let's create an object called counter. So you must be worrying, you must be thinking like we are having the same name. So we'll discuss about what is the significance of having the same name and what it is called when we keep the object as same name of the class and they are in the same class file. Okay, so we'll implement this object counter, and what we'll create we'll initialize this method counter. So this is we have created the object of this counter type class. So we have created an object of this type, that is counter. So this counter is this one. So we create an object in it, and here like create a method we will like how many times we want to perform that increment. Like suppose we have provided here we are incrementing by value 1, right? But how many times we want to increment it? Suppose we want to increment 10 times by 1 or 20 times by 20. So that we can implement over here. And we'll implement a for loop. I think you have seen my earlier videos uh, where I have discussed what are control structures in Scala and how they are used. So, so it will iterate from 1 to by. So whatever the value you will provide when you will call the of this object, increment by this much. Okay. So it will like for loop will execute that much time. Now we'll call this the object we've created, right? We'll call the increment. So here you are seeing, right, we are not, though it is expecting one argument to be passed, right, one argument to be passed, but we are not passing any argument. So by default it will take 1. Suppose we just remove 1 over here, so you can see, right, here we are getting a compile time error. We'll get an error over here that it is expecting at least one argument to be passed, but when we give a default, so if you don't pass it, it will take. I hope that concept of yours is clear, right? And now we'll return the value sum. So what is this value, right? O dot sum. So what we have done over here, let's discuss it. What we have done over here in reality, what we have created an object of this type class counter type, and what we are doing, we have created a method in this object of and we are calling this the increment method that much time, how much time you want to be this method to be incremented, right? So that much time, this increment method of this is the method of this, right? This is highlighted, you can see. So this is that much time it will be called and it will be incremented, and this will return the sum value. That is this is the sum value. And we'll discuss, see, this is private variable declared, right? This private variable declared. As you can see, we are this private, any private members of a class is only accessible to the members in that class only. So scope of this variable sum is this much only. So you can see highlighted, right? This is the only scope. Here only we can use. We cannot use outside this class, this private variable. That is the meaning of private. But you are seeing that we are able to use this outside of this class. We are able to use this, but we should not be able, according to the private definition, we are not allowed to use this private variables or methods outside of the class. But by instantiation an object in this counter class object, we are able to use it. So why is it, how we are able to use that also we'll discuss. Okay, now let's similarly we'll implement our def decrement method. This will be, the implementation will be same as, right. Let's see, by type. And we are seeing one more thing, we are not specifying the return type of the method. So it is type inference, right? It is inferring, it is inferring from over here that sum is a type of integer, so this will return an integer, and last expression of any method is by default the return type of that method. So here the return type of increment of by operator is o dot sum. Similarly we'll just copy paste this, we'll implement it this only. Okay, so here of calling in, we'll call the decrement method. So this is our implementation. So like we are having the same name of class and object. So now here comes the concept of companion class. Companion class is a class, or companion object is an object when its class or object both are sharing the, having the same name. So this is companion class, and this you can call an companion object. And what is the importance or significance of it is that a private variable of a class variable of a companion object or a class is shareable across the companion object or class. So here we have like we have declared private sum, so by its definition should not be used outside of the class, but we are able to use it by instantiating an object of it, we are able to use it. So that is the, so we are able to use it. So that's, this is called companion, this is a companion object and class concept over here. Now let's move towards the last part of, so let's move to our next segment of the course, creating an Scala application. So what is an Scala application? So to run a Scala program, you must supply the name of a standalone singleton object with a main method that takes one parameter. So that takes a parameter of array of string and has a result type of unit. Any singleton object with a main method of the, with a proper signature, can be used as the entry point into an application. So like you have heard in Java also, so you require an entry point, right? A main method. So here in Scala also you require an entry point, that is main method. So what is that entry point? Entry point of the execution. So let's create a Scala application. We'll create an object. Let's name is as my counter, because we'll be using the same counter class and objects which we have created. So let's make it an object for sure. Let's create the def main method. Okay, here comes the, if we click on the template it comes. So here we, if we discuss the syntax, right? So here we are having one parameter arguments which is of type array of string. So that is the main method, that is the main execution point, entry point for the execution of our Scala program, right? So here we have created this class counter and object counter which are companion to each other, right? Companion object and companion class. So now how we'll execute it, right? If we just right click, if we are not getting, if we go and run, right, we are not getting this my counter, this to run. Okay, so we are not getting anything to run, right? So this one which if we go right, just let's see. So we are getting only my counter, we are not getting this counter class to run. Any mistake I have done? Just, yeah, so by default I clicked it. Okay, so now let's move over here, and now this is the Scala application we are developing. So this, from here we'll call the methods of the counter object. Okay, so let's just, it will be very simple and very quick. So in increment, so no, sorry, fine. Let's increment it by 10, and as we have provided default value 1 over there, so this will what it will do, will call the, see, right? So if we see increment, this was the name of the method, it should, okay, so you are seeing, right, we are not getting in o by, this was the name of the method, I guess, right? So we are not getting over here, we cannot find it. So why we cannot find it? Because you have not imported it, you have not imported it. So we need to import that class into our this object, right? We need to import it, that's, then only we can use it. So right, we should import this counter. So we'll just write an import count, right? Now this is the class which we are importing, right? Dot, I will just discuss this in my another tutorial video, that how we, like, how we create packages, how we import it and all. So as of now you understand that we, whenever we give counter, okay, okay, so why it is means it's gray, because we have not used it. So let's see if we can, we are getting, no, we are not getting still, because we have not imported any of its members. So now this is importing full members. Now let's see if we are getting it. Yeah, so you can see, right, we are getting, we can see this method. So we'll call this increment by method, and we will provide the value 10, because we want to increment, we want to run the loop 10 times, right? And we'll just okay, what mistake I have done, that I have closed this bracket. Okay, so now, and so let's print it. Okay, see what output should we expect. See, by default the value of sum is 0, right? And how much, what time it is incrementing, 1, right? And what it is doing, it is calling the method of which method, of this object method, it is calling in, or this method, right? And we are passing 10, so by value is 10, means 1 to 10, this will execute 10 times, right? 10 times it should increase, execute, and each loop it will call the increment method, this method of this class. So what this increment method will do, that sum equals to sum plus 1, sum equals to sum plus by, right, sum plus 1. So sum is 0 plus 1 is 1, so value will be 1. Second time when it will be called, because it will call 10 times to this method, right? Second time it will be called, so some value will be 1, sum plus 1, that will be 2. Similarly it will be 10 times, right? So it will, we should get an output of 10. Let's execute it, and here you can see, right, we are getting this one to run, because we have implemented the main method, we have developed the Scala application. See, increment by 10, right, it has incremented by 10. Similarly, let's implement the decrement method. So we will do some smart work. This decrement, right? That is correct. Correct. Okay, let's decrement it by 5. Right? Now let's, yes, increment by 10, decrement by 10, 5. Right? Okay. So what more we can discuss? Yeah, one concept was like missed by me, right? So that was this private variable we have created sum, and this as I told, right, its scope is inside this class only, but we were able to access that sum variable over here. So let's see. And we have created an object. You must question me, right? We have created an object, and we are calling that with the respect with object, with reference to that object we are calling, right? But you cannot call it with reference to object also, because it is only accessible to the members of its class, right? So now let's try to create an object of this class counter in this my counter class, and then let's try to access the sum variable. Let's see if we can access it. If we cannot access it, then our definition is correct. Otherwise, it will be correct only. Okay, let's see. So we'll create an object, and we'll just create the counter class of this object, right? So O is the object of this class new, and let's try to see what things we can access. We can access decrement and increment method of this object. We can access this increment and decrement method by creating an object of this class. But we cannot, there is no sum. We cannot access the private member of that class. So I hope that your private member concept is also clear, and the companion object and classes concept is also clear, that how it can the companion class and objects can access each other private members. And we have developed the Scala application also. So thank you very much for attending this, and I hope that your queries were answered, and I was able to serve you and like bring something tangible, and something like I can bring something tangible to your learning path.